Hello, everybody. Welcome to a daily live stream here on Traveling with Kristin in the Location Independent Lifestyle. And today I decided that I think it's time we talk about travel because yesterday we talked a lot about some pretty deep topics as far as conceptually, philosophically, what you can do to become a digital nomad and how you might be holding yourself back. So I thought let's lighten it up a little bit and let's talk about travel. And what do people like more than traveling? Saving money. And what do they like more than that? Saving money while traveling. And I don't even know if I've talked about this yet. Maybe in some Q&As. But so I put together a list of some of my favorite ways, or like the most common ways that I save money while traveling. I was going to do like 8 ways plus a bonus, but I think I'll just include the last one on the list too because it's pretty relevant, even though it's a bit customized to just digital nomads, but I think it could work for business travelers too. It's kind of a good hack. So we'll get started. Hello, Ahmed. You like my shirt? Thank you. It's a dress, actually. You can't see it. Yes. My sister gave it to me. I was visiting her in Las Vegas, and I acquired some of her clothing because, as you guys might have noticed, I'm an overpacker. I always pack too much stuff, and I always want to change up my clothes. So I'm happy to take any opportunity to do that along the way. Actually, digital nomads that I've met while traveling, we've talked about doing clothing swaps just because we get sick of our clothes. I'm having sleepy time tea, yogi tea. Okay, hi there, tech lords. What's up? Thanks for those links, by the way. Sent me some cool Estonia links on Twitter today, so I'll have to listen to those podcasts. All right, so are you guys ready to save some money or learn how I save money? And if you have any other tips, let me know in the comments. So the first thing that I do, it's all about planning ahead, guys. The first thing that I do to save money is I travel during the off season of pretty much every country I go to. Anytime that I go somewhere during the high season, like I did the first time I ever went outside of the country, it was the year 2000, and I had just graduated from high school. I was 17 years old, and my grandma and my mom came together and bought me a trip to Italy because my grandma was from Italy, and it's like part of our heritage. So I went to Italy in the summer. Fast forward to 2017, like 55 countries later, and I had the opportunity to go back to Italy for my 35th birthday. God, that's really old. And I did in July. That's when my birthday is, in the summer. And, you know, when I was 17, I didn't have to worry about how much things cost, and I didn't know what was crowded and what wasn't. But when I was turning 35, I did. So I ended up in Rome and Positano, Italy, in the peak of high season, paying like astronomical prices to stay in this villa like with the ocean view or Mediterranean Sea view or whatever. And that was one of the rare times that I've traveled somewhere during peak season. And it was because I was with a friend. And I did the same thing that same summer, directly after Positano, went to Croatia during peak season. And it's the worst because it's hot, it's expensive, and it's crowded. So the number one way that I save money is by just going places during the off season or during the shoulder season because everything's cheaper. Flights are cheaper, accommodations are cheaper, and it's just more pleasant because you don't have to like be crowded everywhere trying to see like the Vatican City or whatever. Let's see. I'll do it just a couple and then I'll start answering comments. So everybody put your comments and your questions. So very related to my number one thing is to travel during off-peak days and times. So not everybody can do this because, of course, people are restricted by like jobs and kids and schedules and things like that. But when you're a digital nomad, you don't really have those restrictions. So, well, you might have kids. Actually, today I met an RV couple that had a kid, and they told me some cool stories. So we'll talk about that later. But so travel during off-peak days and times. So the best days are usually on a weekend, so like a Saturday, because Friday and Mondays are really heavy travel days. And then during the week, you get business travel. And on Sundays, you get people like coming back from weekend trips. So I typically usually travel on like a Wednesday, Thursday, or a Saturday. That seems to be the cheapest flights. And I also travel during off-peak times. So it's like during the middle of the day, like a lot of the business travelers are going in the morning and at night. So I'll just do like random times, like 11 a.m. or something like that. And I save a lot of money that way. Sticking with the airline theme, my favorite way of booking flights is using a combination of Kiwi.com and Google Flights, because you can search by region, you can search by country, and it just gives you a lot of flexibility. So that, let's say you want to go from New York to, let's say you want to go to Paris, like big airport, right? Well, you can actually search like all of New York area airports without having to put in like a radius or something. I think that's really stupid that like sites try to limit you by, they don't want you to save money, basically. Like the airlines don't want you to save money, but these other sites, they want you to save money because they want you to book through their site. So anyway, you can search from New York, and then you can put to France. So you don't have to put just to Paris. You can put all of France. You can put all of Europe. And if you're not traveling with a lot of luggage, or another tip that I will have in a minute, you could even put like a London, which is not even on the European continent. You can put another country like Amsterdam, or that's not a country, obviously, it's a city, but you can fly into Amsterdam or Rotterdam in the Netherlands, and then you can take a high-speed train to Paris, and you can save a ton of money that way. You can also search by airline alliance, which is really good if you're loyal to one airline. So that's what I do. Like I was going to, I go to France next week. I didn't know where, I hadn't been to this area yet. It's in the Alps. And I searched flights to Switzerland and flights to Milan, Italy, and flights to like other parts of France to try to find what would be the cheapest route and the best time of day. And then also how I could get from the airport to my destination in the Alps by either train or bus or renting a car. And so that is basically like a game changer. And you may have noticed that the Icelandic airlines are always offering really cheap flights. That's another way to do it, although I don't necessarily agree with flying to Iceland as like a place to have a layover before going somewhere else on the main continent of Europe, because those flights have a lot of extra fees tacked on, from which card you use to pay for your flight, to which seat you want to sit in, to food, to your carry-on baggage and everything. So it's really hard. And then if you get stuck, or if you want to stay in Iceland for a few days, it's like one of the most expensive places to get stuck or to stay overnight on a layover. Like the transportation's expensive, the food's expensive, the hotels are expensive in Reykjavik. So anyway, don't do that unless you really want to go to Iceland, which is understandable. Number 4 is I sign up for a free account. This might not be very Marie Kondo, but if you travel a lot, I sign up for a free account on every hotel, airline, car, rental company, anything that I use on a regular basis. I will sign up for a corporate rewards account and get like a business account with a corporate discount. And I will sign up for their free rewards program or points program. So this is like anything from Delta Airlines, Sky Miles, and I also sign my company up for their bonus program for corporations. I sign up for like Avis, Budget, all of those companies' rewards. And I sign up for all of the hotel chains that I stay in the most, like IHG, Marriott, anything like that. And not only do you save money, but you also get lots of deals. And when you stay there, you get points and you get treated better and you get free perks. Like for like the hotels, you might get like, besides getting a free night with your points, you might get late check-in or early check-in, late checkout. You might get like a welcome gift. You might get free drinks. Like you get all this kind of stuff. And that just makes traveling better and less miserable. No, traveling's great, but sometimes the transit part is not so great. So yeah, and you also end up getting like a free upgraded customer service line or something like that. Yeah, so I'll do one more and then I'll answer questions and I'll do the last ones. So yeah, this is related to number 4. Tip number 5 is I am loyal to one airline alliance. And this is really helpful if you travel a lot in one region. Like if you travel a lot in the US, you want to pick an American alliance, or not American Airlines either, but you want to pick one of the better ones, you know, whatever airline you fly with the most that has the best routes. I am a Delta frequent flyer. My brother was American for a while because his routes were totally different than mine and they had better flights. I think like United, is it United or Continental now? I don't know. I don't fly with them because they're always late, but apparently they have a good rewards program. But so basically not just the airline alliance, guys, or not just the airline itself as far as their points program, but their entire alliance. So with Delta, they're partners with, they're part of SkyTeam Alliance. So they're partners with KLM, Air France, Aeroflot, which is the Russian airline, a few Chinese airlines, Kenya Air. And what are the benefits to doing that? So this isn't talked about that much, but you can actually get points and miles or whatever from other airlines on your account. So I basically focus on that one airline or one airline alliance, and then I do everything I can related to them to get points towards that airline because it goes to my status. So it's kind of like focusing on one goal, for example, or having 10 goals and doing them all 10%. Like if you do one thing 100%, you're just going to get more of a benefit out of it. So this means I get high status, like anywhere usually between gold and platinum status every year. I have their credit card, so I get bonus points. I get extra free miles every year that are worth like thousands of dollars just by spending a certain amount on the card. I get free Sky Club access. I get free baggage. I get priority check-in. So I never pay baggage fees. Like the only time I pay baggage fees is if I'm flying in Europe and I'm on like a random airline that, you know, I don't have perks on. But that's the kind of a benefit that you can get to just picking one airline alliance and committing to it is you just save so much money. And if you're going to spend the money anyway on tickets, you might as well get benefits. So I also get a lot of free drink tickets, but I don't drink when I'm on planes and I get free drinks anyway. So I will give my drinks to other people. So like, I'll just tell the flight attendant, like, yeah, you can scan these drink tickets. And then the next 3 or 4 people get free drinks who order them. So, you know, pay it forward. And also with getting the Sky Club access, that means I never have to pay for food when I'm at an airport. And buying food at an airport is negative EV, as poker players would say. It's not an optimal decision because you're paying a premium on the food and the drinks there. So you want to avoid that. And not like the lounge food is that good, but you do get free Wi-Fi, you get free drinks, you get free food, and so you save money. So I will answer some live stream questions, and then we'll do the last 3 or 4. that I have there. Thank you. Ahmed likes my dress. Larry, you're watching Carnival. Is it Carnival right now? In in Brazil? Ahmed said, "What happened with you? You're in a good mood today and so fresh." Well, actually, I meditated 3 times today, and I took a shower and dried my hair. So, sometimes I just meditate once a day in the morning, but if I have a lot of stuff to do, I actually can get overwhelmed, and so I need to meditate more. It seems counterproductive because it takes more time, but it helps me snap out of any feelings of like ADD or anxiety or stuff like that. So I guess it's working because I have no makeup on, but I did dry my hair. What's next? Happy faces. Is it low season in Bansko right now? Larry, that's a good question. Actually, it's not. So I made an exception. There are exceptions to every rule, guys. I made an exception coming to Bansko during the high season because it's already so cheap during the low season that high season in Bansko is cheaper than almost anywhere else you can go in Europe. I mean, in Eastern Europe, you can also find like comparable prices, but yeah, so it kind of canceled each other out. Oh, Larry, good point. Going to secondary cities saves money as well. Graz, is that how you pronounce it? I haven't been there, but it's on my list. Instead of Vienna, and Bratislava instead of Prague. Yep, for sure. That also goes for even here. So Bansko is expensive compared to the rest of Bulgaria. So if you go to some of the smaller towns, stuff is way cheaper. But yeah, I have noticed a huge difference in prices. Like you can still get stuff really cheap, like you can eat for €3 and stuff like that. But you can also end up spending like €20 if you're not careful, because like there's a lot of touristy restaurants right now. Tech Lords uses Skyscanner and Skiplagged for his flights. I used to use Skyscanner, but it was the best for a few years. But I find that Kiwi and Google Flights have better search methodology, and the prices are the same or cheaper. But Skiplagged, I haven't used, but it's such a great concept. So if you guys haven't heard of Skiplagged, it's basically taking advantage of, let's say you have a really popular flight route. I actually just saw an article about some guy getting sued by Lufthansa for doing this. But let's say there was an article I saw recently, like somebody was flying from somewhere to Houston, but they booked a flight to Las Vegas and got off the plane on the layover in Houston. And people do that a lot, apparently. And it is a good way to save money, but it's against the airline's terms and conditions. I have considered doing it in the past, but I haven't because I usually have a checked bag with me because I'm traveling far. So I don't want to leave my bag on the airline and then just get off. But another thing is that the airlines are noticing that now, and they will actually call you out. And some people have reported losing their status, losing their points, miles, whatever. So yeah, I don't know. But I think Skiplagged does it in a way maybe that you maybe you don't get caught. I'm not sure. Another piece of advice from Ahmed is to clear your cookies. Yes, every time. That is true as well. I've even taken it to, I didn't put this on my list, but that's a good one, Ahmed. I've taken it to an extreme level where I will use like a VPN on my phone to check prices, or then another browser on my computer, and then clear cookies and then use a different phone. And I have done that as well to search strategically so that they're not stalking you and upping the price, because they do it. It's basically proven now, allegedly. Yep, Tech Lords agrees. Be flexible in which airport to fly into. Angel is here. Hola. Bien. Thank you. He says, how are you? Oh, Larry uses a VPN too. No surprise there. Good one. Fist bump. Ahmed said some banks and cards also make points and rewards with special airlines. Yes, I have the Chase card, Chase credit card, Sapphire rewards. That's a good one because I think the annual fee is for $500, but they give you a $300 credit on your travel. So that kind of pays for it. And then you also get priority pass access and you get to use your points for travel. However, I've noticed that you need to shop around because the hotels and things on their website are usually more expensive than you would find on other sites. But I have found pretty good flights through their site, but they're always in a basic economy. Rome to Rio, Larry recommends. That is a great site. So that site is so cool. It gives you all the different ways that you can get between point A and point B. So Kiwi tries to do that with like buses and trains, but it's not as sophisticated and refined as Rome to Rio. So that is a really good site. Yep, definitely. The question had a question, but it was retracted. Okay. Oh, it's Fat. Oh, in New Orleans. You're in New Orleans, Larry. Tomorrow's Fat Tuesday. Wednesday is Ash Wednesday. You know what? This is one of the side effects of being a digital nomad is that you don't celebrate any holidays anymore. Like you don't celebrate your home country's holidays or special occasions because you're not there. And then you don't usually celebrate the locals' holidays because you're not from there and you don't identify with their holidays and you work anytime anyway. So it's like every day is a holiday or not. It doesn't matter. Are they having a carnival in Barcelona? What's going on? Oh yeah, the Bulgarian Black Sea beaches in the summer are cheap. Yeah, for sure. Sunny Beach. Well, I don't know if that's really my scene, but it looks pretty in the photos. It looks like Greece to me in the photos, so it looks really nice. Oh yeah, so well, that's true. Spain is a Latin country, so that makes sense. Cool. Let's see what else. All right, let's do you guys have really good travel tips too. Thank you for contributing those because I was sitting on the couch thinking like, what else do I do? And I couldn't think of any more. It's the end of the night again. So I guess these are some of like more macro ones. So another thing is just to travel to affordable places. As a digital nomad, like you can live anywhere and you can check out really amazing, cool places that are really expensive, like Paris and Tokyo and Hong Kong. And you can just fully immerse yourself in that and just live it up. But you can also use affordable destinations as your home base and then take really cheap flights to go to expensive places. So Bulgaria is a really good spot for that. If you guys saw the Bulgaria Digital Nomad Destinations video, I talk about how cheap the flights are from Sofia. So one of the guys from my co-working space here, his name is Matt. He's from England, and he got a flight from here to Dubai for like, I think $100 or €100. And imagine the cost of a flight to Dubai from most places. It's pretty expensive. So we're in like a good location where it's really cheap to get there. And the same thing with Paris. I had a couple that wanted to live in Paris, but instead they lived here and they just like went to Paris for a week. But if I am going to an expensive place, like sometimes just staying for like a month or so can actually bring the price way down. So sometimes if you go for a week or 2 weeks, you can end up spending just as much as if you would stay for a month because you're paying short-term prices and you're usually going to go out to eat. So that just depends. We'll get to that, Larry. And my number 7 tip is to check the prices at co-living places when you're going to a destination. There is a website that you can actually look them up. So you can just Google co-living in that destination. There's also a website where you can book co-living, and I'm drawing a blank on what it's called, but I'll Google it after this, or if someone wants to Google that. And it's like basically a portal where you can book co-living, but that can be cheaper than an Airbnb, a hotel, a regular apartment. For example, when I booked my trip to Buenos Aires, I did it like while I was on the Nomad cruise, and we didn't have internet, and I didn't really plan ahead. It was like 2 days ahead of time or something like that. And so I was so distracted with other things that I didn't even check for co-living places there. And I just booked an Airbnb because, as you guys might also remember, I preach about how much like time and money is wasted by digital nomads every year booking their travel. So I try to do it really fast so I don't spend too much time in just administrative planning. And I didn't check. So I ended up spending like an extra, I don't know, maybe almost $1,000 on an Airbnb when I could have stayed for like $500 a month in a co-living space right next door to my apartment. So always check that as well. You don't have to be a digital nomad to stay in a co-living space. Selena is one as well that's like a hotel and a co-living space in one. And so you save money, you get good internet, you meet cool people, and it's a win-win. And then my number 8 tip for saving money as a digital nomad is to slow travel. Who's heard me say this before? But it's true. Not only do you spend a considerable amount of time and money when you're planning your travel throughout the year, I actually track my time and I track how much I spend planning my travel, packing, unpacking, and in transit. And it's a disgusting amount of time. So slow travel, you cut that out. You also cut out the setup costs that you have every time you change location. So not only the transit, I mean, you have to think about your transportation, your bags, your productivity, your jet lag, and your time, and your moving back and forth, and then also your adjustment period in each new place. Now, of course, everybody loves traveling and it's fun to travel while you're working, but if you slow it down, you can have just as much fun, I promise. You can see really cool places, you can see more of them, you can meet more people, you can have like a more local way of life. And yeah, you just save a lot of money and time because you're not paying those switching costs and those sunk setup costs every time you change locations. Now, this is taken out for you if you're on like a co-workation retreat and they're paying or they're organizing everything, but you're also paying a premium to do that. So, you know, it kind of might even out. And then my number 9 tip of how I save money traveling as a digital nomad is I combine my business travel and pleasure. So as a nomad, you can't just write off all of your living expenses just because you're traveling, because that doesn't make sense. It doesn't work that way. But you can write off business trips. So I will, if I'm going on a business trip, it usually ends up being fun anyway. And I will speak at a conference or an event, and then that becomes a write-off. You know, maybe not the whole thing, but at least a part of it. And I have also seen a lot of cool remote companies send their employees to conferences and events as well that are digital nomad related. So it seems too good to be true because it could be like fun stuff. But that is a way to save money. And then also you can save money on another level by doing things like the Nomad Cruise, because not only are you at a business event, but you are getting your transportation and your food paid for while you're crossing over the ocean. So you have like room, board, and transportation at the same time for basically like a huge cost savings. compared to if you bought a plane ticket from Spain to Brazil. And then you don't have to deal with jet lag either. So you also feel better and maybe you're more productive. So those are my 9 ways, 9 of them. I'm sure there's more, as people have mentioned in the chat. There's lots of other ways to save money too that I left off this list, but those are some big ones. So even if you start implementing just a couple of those, then you'll save money, and at least you guys can think about not just people in the chat, but anyone watching this later. Hopefully this gives you some different ways of like thinking about how you plan your travel, and you save lots of money. What else? Chat is lit today. Larry's best tip for hassle-free travel is to stay home. Larry, you like Welling? Okay, we need to share this video with you. On where can I find it? It's on my page. I don't know if you guys have seen any of my vintage videos from like a year ago. I need to reorganize my YouTube channel, but I think I have some pretty funny videos that are like maybe a little bit amateur, but I think they have a good story. You guys have to watch this video and you will see why I hate Welling. I got stranded for like 3 days or something in airports going between Serbia and Spain. Welling is a Spanish airline. I was going to San Sebastian, and it was so crazy. I had to make a video about it. But I do mean their planes are nice. Their customer service. I didn't even eat. Like you'll have to watch the video to find out. But anyway, it has a great ending on the Camino de Santiago in Spain. And so it all comes full circle. It was worth the suffering. But Larry stays in a hostel the first couple nights to get a lay of the land. Cool. I haven't stayed in hostels recently because I don't know. I'm just like an introvert. I'm not. I'm extroverted too. I guess it's just like a different vibe than what I'm usually going for. But if I'm not working, I would totally do it. But when I'm in work mode, it's just distracting. Yeah, having your own bathroom is nice. But hostels are really fun to get to know people, and it's like plugging into a co-working or a co-living space, but with more drinking, maybe. Maybe the same amount of drinking. Maybe with younger people. Oh, but here we have young people too. I don't know. Hostels just seem like more of a party scene. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm going to go because I need to go to sleep. I set up this thing. Have you heard of this app called Stick? I think BeMinder is a similar one. You can set a goal and you can put money on it. And so I have a tendency to stay up really late working, which is really bad for you. And then I'm like on my computer until 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning, depending on the day. And then I go directly to bed, which is like horrible. So I set up this thing where I have to go to bed by 10 p.m. or I have to pay like, I don't know. I don't want to say it's an anti-charity. You can pick a charity to support or an anti-charity that you hate. And I have money that I have to give to this this organization that I strongly dislike if I don't do it. So I'm going to go to sleep. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. No, Tuesday. What's today? Monday. Never mind. I don't know what the live stream is tomorrow, but Wednesday is the interview with Pale Bo, the radio vagabond. So that happens in Brazil on the beach, and it's really cool. So I'm excited to share that with you guys. Yeah, see, Ahmed, it doesn't matter what day it is, if it's a holiday, like we're just over here doing our thing, working. Okay, guys. Larry, Tech Lords, Ahmed, Angel, the question. Another new people. All right, see you guys mañana. Larry, don't party too hard over there. Bye.